Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm going to be continuing my adventures in the Stardew Valley roguelike mod. As you can see right here, last time I got down 23 floors, and our eventual goal is to beat ConcernedApe's 47 floors, and so we're going to see if we can do that today. If you like the video, consider subscribing and come watch the next one live. So I'm just going to kind of skip a lot of the main floors, stuff that we've already seen before, and just show new stuff. So, as seen before, this is Cavrag the Dragon, and we died to him last time. In this run, you'll notice I have this buff that just kind of puts bombs down every now and then, which is kind of insane. It actually was helping a lot with random bombs, but I had a different buff that would make me take damage over time, and so that creeped up on me and I died. But a few runs later, I made it back to Cavrag, decided pretty much from here on out not to go with any more of those buffs, but I feel like I did alright. I learned a lot of the attack patterns pretty well, figured out how to do parries pretty decently, but unfortunately I did end up dying again because I wasn't healing as much as I should have. The next time I made it to Cavrag actually wasn't a live run. I decided to do this just so that I could make a substantial progression in this video, so sorry about that. But anyway, this time against Cavrag, I managed to do pretty decently. He wasn't hitting me that much, I had some pretty good weapons, and I was much better at the sword parries this time around. And of course, the most important thing, I was healing when I needed to heal. And yeah, after a bit, I managed to beat him, so that was super exciting. Now that we're getting down farther, there were a ton more sword options, more deadly ones. I found a forge floor. You can buff your swords with gems, but I'm not a huge fan of buffing a sword just to get a better one later, so I decided not to do that. The design of these types of floors were the lower levels in the harder mines, which I thought was really cool, because I didn't know where they were going to go from there. Eventually I made it down to floor 29, to the next boss. Now this guy, as it turns out, has a few tricks up his sleeve. He'll just randomly run away, he'll lay an egg, and that'll spawn these bugs once that egg hatches. So what you need to do is hit him before he can lay the egg. Now, unfortunately, these little bugs that would spawn were giving a ton of damage, and it was super hard to avoid them, and then if you focused on them instead of the big bug, you'd end up with more bugs on your hand, and it becomes a cycle until you die. They also had these crazy exploding bugs, which would just as soon as they hit you, explode, do a crazy amount of damage, and then that was it. You just took so much damage, and it wasn't great. And even though all this was going on, I actually managed to kill him, but I didn't get any farther down because I died to the bugs on the floor. Sorry for the live chat being in the way, but we made it down 29 floors, which puts me in place 52. By the time I got down to this floor the next time, I decided a club might be the best way to do it. You can kind of do damage from a little bit farther away, and you can right-click spam, which allows you to do a lot of damage to an enemy, even if you're only swinging your club once. The right-click spamming really only let me get 2 hits off, but that was still better than 1, so I'm pretty excited about that. Using a club also allowed me to hit a lot of the bugs that were around me, so if I was ever in a pinch where there were 100 bugs around me, it wouldn't be a matter of facing a certain direction, it would be a matter of just slamming the ground and hitting all the bugs around me, and either killing them or spreading them out away from me. But as good as this strategy was, I did end up dying, so oh well, it happens. Funny random thing that happened during one of my runs is I got to this spinning wheel, and I decided to just keep spinning it, and on my 3rd spin, I died. So that's really cool. Now unfortunately on this offline run, I had just beat the bug, which is annoying that I didn't get footage of that, so sorry about that, but this is what I've got. The floors after the bug are modeled after the medium floors in the regular mines, but specifically when they're on their harder difficulty. So a lot of these enemies are enemies I haven't seen a ton of, but it was still really cool. Then eventually I made my way down to floor 35 with Hachi the Queen Bee. Now this fight was super crazy because I was going into this completely blind, thinking this boss is going to take me out, And what really happened was I did so much fast damage with my dagger and just kept on healing whenever I was getting even close to dying. Actually almost died right there, but still, it was just insane because I managed to take it out first try. So that was pretty hype. Easy. Oh, so easy. The next floors were obviously modeled after the deeper levels of the hard mines. And then when I got to floor 41, I thought this was a really interesting entrance to the boss fight. Just like a ton of random stuff just laid on the floor. And I don't know, it was insane. But after making my way through all of that, I got to Ozul, the Shadow King. Now, in the first phase, this guy was super easy. You just keep your distance, make sure you don't get shot, and you make sure that you don't explode after you hit him. But other than that, I thought this was going to be super easy. That is, until his second phase. This came around when I had 2/3 damage on him. The explosions that he does had a much wider range. He summoned all of these shadow guys to shoot their arrows, which weren't that difficult to dodge, but it was still a giant annoyance that I couldn't just focus on him. It was hard to kill him just because it took so many hits to actually kill him. This fight was going pretty decent, and I actually had a ton of food left. That is, until I died, which is unfortunate. Apparently he can hit for like 46 damage, so that was great. But now I am 49th on the leaderboard, one spot behind ConcernedApe, so next week we'll be able to beat him. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope you have a fantastic day.